Okay, so I think we should be live. Please let me know in the chat if anyone can hear me. And we will be getting started at 4:50. So in about 3 minutes, we'll be getting started with today's problems and all of the explanations. So once again, welcome everybody to the stream and hope you're having a great day. We will be getting started shortly at just about 4:50, so in just about a minute and a half. Okay, so now that is 4:50, I think we'll get started with today's stream. So, welcome everybody to the stream. Hope you're all having a great day. So, this is the third grade math live stream, and today I'll be going over the TEKS 3.2C and 3.2D. So far we've already had our 5th grade math and science streams, and their video should be up shortly. And after this stream, we will be having our 6th grade math stream. So, getting started with this stream, today I will be going over 3 problems, one from 5.2C and 2 from 5.2D. From what I've seen, 5.2C isn't as commonly tested. I've only found one problem from the last few recent STAR tests, while 3.2D has been very common. There's been at least one problem in every STAR test. So, the main concept that we'll be going over today is comparing different numbers using methods such as number lines. So let's just get started with our first problem for today. So reading the problem, let's get our highlighter out. The point on the number line represents the amount of money needed to build a garage. And here we have a number line showing 4,000, the amount needed, and 5,000. Which statement best describes the amount of money needed to build the garage? So let's start highlighting. So the point on the number line represents the amount of money needed to build a garage. Which statement describes the amount of money needed? to build the garage. So pretty much we have this point right here on the number line where it says amount needed, and that's the point that we are trying to describe in numerical terms. So what is a number line, first of all? So let me just draw out a sample number line to show a basic idea of how we can use a number line. Just one sec. Yeah. So pretty much the idea is, let's just make a basic number line for now. So we'll make 0 all the way to the left and a number 10 all the way to the right. So the goal of a number line is pretty much to represent where a number is relative to other numbers. So pretty much the structure of a number line is we have the smallest number to the left. Let me just label this. So this is our smallest number, and this 10 all the way to the right is our largest number, our largest or greatest number. And in between there is where we have all our other numbers. So for example, halfway we will have 5. Between here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's label those quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And generally the spacing between each number is pretty equal in order to make it all easy to visualize. So that's pretty much how a number line works. So going over to the specific number line that our problem has given us, we have 4,000 as our smallest number. We have 5,000 as our largest number, and our amount needed is somewhere in between 4,000 and 5,000. And quickly going back to this original number line, let me quickly just explain a few symbols. So the symbols that are often used are greater than, less than, and equals. We don't really need it specifically for this problem, but it's just useful to know. So we know that 6 is more than or greater than 5. So the way we could write that is to say 6 is greater than 5. And this I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's kind of like a sideways triangle or a sideways V. That symbol is the greater than. And pretty much it's kind of like an alligator mouth opening to the largest number. And that's the same way we would write less than. So if you want to say 5 is less than 6, you would write it like this. This time, the crocodile's mouth is open to the larger number 6 again, but this time it's the right. And of course, as we all know, we could also have the equals to symbol to say two numbers are equal. So we can just say like 5 equals 5, for example. So now if we go back to the number line given for this problem, we have 4,000, the amount needed, and 5,000. And in between, if you can tell, we have this line here, pretty much to mark the halfway point. And it's really useful if we can find the value of that halfway point. So how can we do that? Well, we know that we can find the number of numbers between 4,000 and 5,000 by subtracting 5,000 minus 4,000. So let's quickly do that. We do 5,000 minus 4,000. This is easy subtraction because we don't have to do any grouping or anything. So we can just do 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is again 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. And 5 minus 4 is 1. And so we know that there are 1,000 numbers between 4,000 and 5,000. 5,000 is also, that means the 1,000th number after 4,000. Since 4,000 plus 1,000 is 5,000. Now, the halfway point for that is to say, what is half of this number 1,000? And we know that 1/2 of 1,000 has to be 500. And a great way we can check our work for that is to say, what is 500 plus 500? Because 2 halves make a whole. 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, and 5 plus 5 is 10. we get the same 1,000 back. And so we know that the halfway point of a 1,000 is 500. And if we add that to our starting number, 4,000, sorry about my messy handwriting, plus 500, we get 0, 0, 5, and 4. We put a comma there, so we can label this middle number right here as 4,500. I'm going to try to write it kind of small. And one thing we can see is that our amount needed is to the right of 4,500. It's greater than 4,500. And because that's the halfway point, that means 4,500, our amount needed is a little closer to 5,000 than it is to 4,000. Another easy way we can look at that is with a ruler. Like I talked about earlier, on a number line, numbers are generally equally spaced. So if we set our ruler here at 4,000 and measure it to this dot, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 units. We have about 14 units from here to here. Now if we place our ruler back here and measure it to here, we have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We only have about 11 units this time. So that's a quick way to check and see that this amount needed is only 11 units from 5,000, but 14 units from 4,000, meaning it's closer to 5,000. So now we can really start looking at our answer choices. Then the amount needed is more than 5,000. That's wrong because, like we talked about, the number all the way to the right of the number line is the largest or the greatest number, like we talked about in the 0 to 10 number line. So we know that answer choice A is incorrect. Answer choice B says the amount of money needed is less than 4,000. Again, this is also incorrect because, like we talked about, the number all the way to the left has to be the smallest number. And here, since 4,000 is the smallest number, we can't have anything less than the number 4,000. So we can mark that as wrong too. Answer choice C says the amount of money needed is about 5,000 because $5,000 because the point is closer to $5,000. And as we talked about, that is correct. So if we just mark our units here, this is only about 11 when we measured, and this was 14. And so we measured it is a little bit closer to 5,000. So this could possibly be our answer choice. We'll put a question mark. And answer choice D says the amount of money needed is about 4,000 because the point is closer to 4,000. We know this is wrong because we measured that our amount needed is a little bit closer to the number 5,000 than it is to 4,000. So it's not closer to 4,000. So we can mark that as an incorrect choice too. And now we know that our correct answer is C, which says the amount of money needed is about $5,000 because that point is closer to $5,000. So does anybody have any questions about this problem? Please let me know in the chat and I will answer them. Okay, so if nobody has any questions, I will move on to the next problem. So, just if you were wondering, that was problem 31 from the 2017 STAR test. Now, from the same start test, we'll look at question 13, and this one now is TEKS 5, not 5, I keep saying 5, 3.2D. So, let's just start off by reading the problem and highlighting important information again. So, the table shows the land areas of some states, and here we have a table with 5 states: Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Mississippi. And it shows each of their areas in square miles. So keep in mind all of them are in the same unit. And it's asking which comparison of two land areas is not true. So if we go and highlight some things, the table shows us the land area, and this column on the right is what all our areas are. Those are the numbers we're comparing. It's asking what is the comparison of two land areas that is not true. That's really important to remember. We're looking for what is not true. So, not true, we can even, it's the same thing as saying what is false. So, the smartest thing I would say to do with this problem is, again, let's just make a number line and let's mark where each of these numbers are. So I'm just going to make a really nice and long number line all the way across here. And we know that we have 5 different values, so we can put 1 in each end. And we can mark a few more lines in between there. And those are the 5 areas for our 5 states that we will be marking on this number line. So let's start comparing these numbers now. So when comparing the values of different numbers, what we want to do, especially when the numbers are this large, is go place value by place value. We want to start at the largest place value, and we want to go to the smallest. And in this case, all of these numbers have 5 place values. We have a ones place, a tens place, a hundreds place, a thousands place, and a 10,000s place. So the first place value we will be comparing will be the 10,000s place. So just looking at all the 10,000s places, let's mark them in red. We have a 5, a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 4. So the only numbers we have are 4s, 5s, and 6s, of which the smallest one is a 4. So we're gonna organize the numbers smallest to largest on the number line, like we talked about. Since the number on the left, all the way to the left on the number line is always the smallest, and the number all the way to the right is the largest. So let's go from left to right. So let's start from smallest. So we have 2 that are 40,000 something. So let's just mark down the number line, just what we have. We have something beginning in a 4 here. We have something beginning in a 4 here. Since these are large numbers, I'll be marking some on top and some on the bottom just to space out the numbers. After that, what's the next largest number in the 10,000s place? We have 5s. So we have 2 numbers with 5s. So we can say the next 2 will be 50,000 something, which we can mark here. And last is we just have one number that is 60,000 and something, and that's our last number. And because we only have one number that is 60,000 and something, we know that our largest number is 68,667. And I'll just take this nice colorful color, and I'll just mark that as Oklahoma. I'll just put the first 2 letters. I'll just label it as OK for now. Okay, so now we have looked at all of our 10,000 places. Now let's start comparing our thousands places. So we really don't need to look at Oklahoma anymore. Let's just cross it out so we don't have to worry about it. Let's look at all of our thousands places. So first, of course, let's only compare the 2 4s. We're only going to compare the 2 4s for now. So we can just figure out which of these 2 is which. So in the 2 40,000 numbers, which are, let me just underline the 2 in red, Louisiana and Mississippi, we're going to see in Louisiana, we have a 3 in the thousands place, and we have a 6 here for Mississippi in the thousands place, and we know 3 is less than 6. And because of that, we can write that 43,204 has to be less than 46,907 because 3 is less than 6. So for our smallest number, let's label that. We know it's 43,204. And our next smallest number is the 46,907. And above it, again, we'll take the colorful color and label what state that is. So for Louisiana, we'll just put LO for the first 2 letters. For Mississippi, we'll put MI for the first 2 letters. Next, let's cross these 2 numbers out. Now that we've looked at them, we can cross out Louisiana and Mississippi. Now we just have to worry about Arkansas and Alabama now. So now we can look at, again, we can just look at the thousands place of these. We'll do this in green. So for Arkansas, we have a 2 in the thousands place. And for Alabama, we have a 0 in the thousands place. Again here, we know 0 is less than 2. And that means that it should go farther to the left. And because of that, that means that our first value here has to be 50,744. And our next number has to be the 52,068. Let's write that. And again, let's label the states with the shiny color. So the 50,000 is Alabama, AL, and for the 52,000, that's Arkansas, put AR. Alright, it's doing that. And again, we can just cross these out since we don't have to worry about these anymore. And with that, we have organized all of these states into our number line. Let me just go back actually and quickly underline Arkansas and Alabama, since those are the ones we compared for the thousands place. And yeah, so now let's start looking at our different answer choices. We now have a number line that organizes the numbers from least to greatest, and that makes it much easier to compare these numbers. So answer choice A says the land area of Alabama is more than the land area of Mississippi. So Alabama is this one right here. Let me just mark this in red. And Mississippi is this one right here. And Mississippi's to the so Alabama is to the right of Mississippi, and that means that Alabama is more than Mississippi. And that's exactly what our answer choice says, meaning that this is true. But keep in mind that our question's asking us what is not true. So because this is true, it's incorrect because we're looking for what is false. I just put a T there to mark true, and I'll put an F if it's false. So let me just quickly erase these 2 arrows so it doesn't confuse us after. So now let's look at the next choice. The land area of Arkansas is less than the land area of Alabama. So what is Arkansas? Arkansas is this one. What is Alabama? Alabama is this one. So looking at our number line, we know Arkansas is more than Alabama since it's farther to the right. And if we read the answer choice, it's telling us Arkansas is less than Alabama. And because of that, we know that that's false. We can mark that with an F here for false. And because it's false, that could be our answer choice because it's asking us what's false. So now let's look at the next answer choice. First, let me just quickly erase these 2 arrows again. Okay, so the land area of Oklahoma is larger than the land area of Louisiana. Again, remember that sign, those signs, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but the sign with the alligator mouth open to Oklahoma means Oklahoma is larger. So let's look at the numbers here. Oklahoma is this one all the way to the right. And Louisiana is this one all the way to the left. So that tells us Oklahoma has to be larger than Louisiana. And that's exactly what our answer choice is telling us. So we can mark this answer choice as true, and because of that, it's wrong. Again, let's go back and erase those arrows. And last, it's telling us the land area of Louisiana is less than the land area of Mississippi. And if we look for Louisiana, it's right here. Again, Mississippi is right here. And we know, looking at the number line, Louisiana has to be less than Mississippi since it's farther to the left. And the answer choice is also telling us that the land area of Louisiana is less than the land area of Mississippi. And because of that, this is true, making it wrong. And let me just go back and erase the arrows. We've gone through all our answer choices, and we now know that answer choice B is our correct answer, because that's the only one that is false. So this proves how we can use a number line to really make comparing numbers a lot easier. So, does anybody have any questions about how to do that problem? Okay, so if nobody has any questions, I will move on to our last problem for this live stream. And this one will be question 27 from the 2017 third grade math star, again TEKS 3.2D. So let's just start reading the problem and highlighting important information. So the list shows 3 clues about a number. The number is less than 6,538. The number is greater than 6,355. And the number has a digit less than 5 in the hundreds place. Which of these could be the number described? So let's start highlighting. So we're saying it's less than 6,538. It's greater than 6,355. It's a digit less than 5 in the hundreds place. And which one of these could be the number described? Could be. Unlike last one, it's not asking for what's false, it's asking for what could be true. So, again, let's use the clues we have to make ourselves a number line. So, I'm just going to make a really long number line here at the bottom. Sorry about that. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Just gonna draw a nice long number line here. Just like that. And then we can say that our smallest number is 6,355 as given to us in the clues. I'm going to write these small. Our largest number is 6,538. And let's start thinking about what numbers could go in between here. Let's make this clear. So what numbers could go in between here? Well, This is 6,300. This is 6,500. And that means in between here, we're gonna have the numbers 6,400 and we're gonna have the number 6,500 somewhere in between. And for the sake of this number line, I'm not going to be putting all the numbers equally spaced. I'm just going to be putting a general idea of where everything is, just because this is a really large range of numbers and it'll be really difficult to have every number equally spaced. So we're going to have 6,400, 6,500 somewhere in between. So now let's go to the tens place and start dividing this up. So around here somewhere, we'll have 6,360, 6,370, 6,380, and 6,390. Over here, we have 6,510. We have 6,000. Let me space this out a little. We'll put 6,520 over here. 6,530 over here. And we can have pretty much any number. That's 6,400 anything here. We can have 6,400, 6,412, 6,499. It could be anything. So far, we've only looked at these two clues. These two clues tell us what's the largest number, 6,538, and what's the smallest number, 6,355. Now let's look at the third clue. The number has a digit less than 5 in the hundreds place. Less than 5. So it can be a 1, it could be a 0, first of all, a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. And it can't be a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So now let's look at our number line. Do any of these numbers have a 5 in the hundreds place? Yes. All of these numbers to the right here have a 5 in the hundreds place. I mean, it's underlined. See? You can see all of these numbers here have a 5 in their 100s place. Meaning that pretty much all of this has to be removed from our number line. And we pretty much have to stop at just below 6,500. So that would be 6,499. So pretty much we can just erase off all of this from our number line. And we can just end the number line right here. So now let's start looking at our different answer choices and see what is in this range. So, which of these numbers could be described? 6,549 is answer choice A. And let's put this on number line. Where would it be? Well, our number line ends at 6,499. So 6,549 would have to be like somewhere over here, way outside your number line. So just like that, we know it's not A. 6,268. Now we only start at 6,355. So that means that this answer choice is like somewhere all the way to the left of our number line. So we can also mark this answer choice as incorrect. 6,519. Well, again, this answer choice is going to be somewhere over there, way outside our number line. Incorrect. And another thing we can look about these two numbers is that the answer choices A and C have a 5 in the hundreds place. And that's exactly what we said we can't have. It has to be less than 5 in the 100s place. So that's wrong too. And 6,449. Well, we have 6,400 here. We have 6,499 here. And we can look at these tens places here. This is a 0. This is a 9. And this is a 4. So that means 6,499 will be somewhere in between there. 6,449. because it's just like how 4 is between the numbers 0 and 9. 4 is more than 0, but 4 is less than 9. And because of that, we know these are correct answer. It could be the number that's described by the 3 clues given. So, does anybody have any questions about this problem? Please let me know in the chat. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any questions. So that was the last problem that I was gonna go over for this stream. So let's end this stream here. So thank you everyone for attending this stream. Our next stream will be going over 6th grade math, and it will be starting shortly. So if you have any 6th graders that are interested in that, please be sure to join that. And yeah, that's it for this stream. So have a great